Good afternoon again. Thank you for letting me come back. We try every day. Sometimes I don't want to say it's tough to get old, but it is. Anyway, thank you for being here again. So today we're going to talk about the monster by the name of Basilisk. Basilisk is a legendary creature that has appeared in European mythology and folklore for centuries. Known for its deadly gaze, you probably met people like that, right? And venom, the basilisk is often depicted as a serpent or lizard through its appearance and attributes, and they have evolved over time. Okay, the origins of basilisk can be traced back to ancient Greek and Roman mythology. The name basilisk comes from the Greek word basilikos, meaning little king or kinglet. Never heard that before. This name reflects the creature's status as the king of the serpents. That is cool. I'm glad I'm not king of anything, right? Okay, the earliest depictions of basilisks came from the writings of Pliny the Elder, a Roman naturalist and philosopher. In his work Natural History in 77 AD, Pliny described the basilisk as a small snake no more than 12 fingers in length, with a crown-shaped marking on its head. According to Pliny, the basilisk's mere gaze, and this is the scary part, this is what the monster does, or breath could kill any living creature and even wither plants. Have you ever met anybody like that? In early Christian symbolism, basilisk was often used as a symbol of evil and sin. The creature's deadly gaze was interpreted as a metaphor for the dangers of temptation and corrupting influence of sin. So whatever you do, be good. In art and literature, the basilisk was sometimes associated with Satan or depicted as a demon-like figure. You know, they kept all the time trying to make him worse. My opinion, bad enough, bad enough. Okay. Evolution in medieval and Renaissance lore. During the Middle Ages, the basilisk legend grew more elaborate. It was frequently mentioned in what they call bestiaries, medieval books that describe various animals, both real and mythical, often with moral or allegorical interpretations. He was typically depicted as a serpent or lizard, sometimes with additional features such as wings, legs, or a rooster's head. In some accounts, it was believed he was born from an egg laid by a rooster and incubated by a toad or serpent. Hey, you might as well just keep making it worse, right? I'm sorry I laugh at these things, but in the sequence of the function of life, some of these are a little funny, but that's okay. Basilisk's deadly powers were said to include a poisonous breath that could cause death, or, and this is the interesting one, and in one of the games, he was there, he could turn objects into stone. And its gaze was believed to be so lethal that even seeing his reflection could be could be fatal. You know, again, one of the games, yeah, and I give the games credit. They don't just, how would you say, make stuff up or create something that's not real, or at least in folklore or there's some history. During the Renaissance, interest in basilisk continued with writers and artists exploring the creature in greater detail. It became a popular subject in alchemical texts where it was sometimes associated with the philosopher's stone and other esoteric concepts. The Renaissance also saw a blending of the legend with that of a cockatrice, another mystical creature that was often described as a serpent with the head of a rooster. In some accounts, the term basilisk and cockatrice became interchangeable. Now, that probably offended one of them. You know what I mean? I don't look like that thing. But history can be sometimes good for things and not so good for things. But we still do it, and we still report on it. Anyway, basilisk in literature and modern culture, he appeared in various literary works over the centuries. In Geoffrey Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales, for example, the basilisk is mentioned as a creature with a deadly gaze. And yeah, I know, you've met people that have that same gaze, I know. So here we go. In more recent history, he's been featured in fantasy novels such as J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series. And you know what's interesting? I read. I never read any of the Harry Potter books. Never watched any of the films. Not for any good reason other than I didn't. In Harry Potter, the Chamber of Secrets, the basilisk is a giant serpent that terrorizes Hogwarts School with the power to kill or petrify those who look into his eyes. Yeah, pretty good. In contemporary culture, he continues to be a symbol of danger and male violence. It appears in various forms of media, including films, video games, and television series. Modern depictions of him often emphasize its reptilian nature, which many artists and creatures choosing to portray it as a giant snake with supernatural powers. Can he help you win the lottery? Let's see. Okay, symbolism. He has long been a symbol of death and destruction, representing the fear of the unknown and dangers that lurk in natural worlds. Its association with evil and sin in Christian tradition also gives it a moral dimension, symbolizing the destructive power of unchecked vice or corruption. Okay, he is endured in folklore literature. It highlights its importance as a cultural symbol. It has inspired countless stories, artworks, and myths, contributing to its status as one of the most fearsome creatures in the pantheon of mythical beasts. So he's on the top. Okay, the legend blending ancient myth with ongoing cultural interpretations, whether seen as a symbol of evil or a creature of deadly beauty. The basilisk remains one of the mythology's most enduring and fascinating figures. So, it's like I do one of these a day. I do, the live here, and then I do a short right after. They're all great. They're all fun. And it seems like they all get worse, even though I started from number 1 and I'm working my way down. So anyway, thank you very much for being here. And try to subscribe, because, that's the only way we are able to keep our jobs. And with me being older and needing to have it where I couldn't be outside too much anymore in this heat, this is my job now. So thank you very much. And I really, really appreciate every day that you watch these. And thank you. Please comment. If you don't get any comments, you think you're doing, you don't think you're doing a good job, but you think you're doing okay. So please, good and bad comments, always appreciated. Stay well. Take care. Thank you again.